Destiny Rise of Iron. How good are auto rifles? Anyway, auto rifles have been in a weird place since the Taken King, probably even House of Wolves and the Dark Below expansion. They've been in the dust for a long time, but one damage type kinda stood out. But I'd say some other guns are just better. Anyway, in the gameplay here, I'm using the Kvostov with the Doctrine of Passing like setup with the high rate of fire, braced frame, and counterbalance. But then also I'm going to talk about other auto rifles like other horrible auto rifles or auto rifles that just don't cut it, like the Xalos and the horrible Hardlight. Why Hardlight is so horrible is because the screen shake. Like, Hardlight would be a good weapon if it didn't, like, shake the whole screen. And then we have Monte Carlo. It's actually in a very good place right now, but it could use a little tidbit of something here and there. And because I'm not really seeing it too often in the Crucible. And then Kvostov itself, it should have like persistence in the intrinsic side. Like, we already have lightweight in the intrinsic, might as well give it persistence so it can actually be good in PvP other than being a Doctrine of Passing archetype. But also have the crazy god roll Doctrine of Passing roll. And then also, what is it, Suros Regime. The spinning it up is a good perk and all, but I think it should be remade, and instead of having it just having to like wait for it, it finally gives you the time to kill that you need. How about let's just make it so it's instant rate of fire. It actually get to like the next archetype instead of just going to like wait for it in between, and then finally at like the last 5 rounds, you can actually get to the medium rate of fire archetype, which I'd say is kind of absurd. I'd say make it like the Kvostov is, in the ways of just you swap a perk, you're in a different archetype, because that would be very good. And then you have I'd say Xalos Supercell. It's still a very good weapon for PvP. It's just kind of getting overshadowed by all of the other auto rifles right now in PvP, but it's still a good weapon for PvE if there is such thing as arc burn now. And then also I'd say all the other legendary auto rifles are doing very well. The Assembly 3 is actually doing a pretty well job of trying to copy off the Doctrine of Passing. And the Doctrine of Passing itself is still doing pretty well. I actually still see it around in the Crucible. And yeah, also I'd say all the other auto rifles, like the new how do you call it, Trials of Osiris auto rifle, aka the Vision Stone, is still doing a very good job. It's in there with the Monte Carlo. And then I'd say that the Unbent Tree, the Iron Banner auto rifle. In fact, I am playing the Iron Banner. Might as well go check it out. They're selling Cryptic Dragon and what is it called, the Silver Dread. But anyway, back to auto rifles. The Unbent Tree still is a pretty good weapon, even though the recoil might be out of your hand. And then comes the horrible copy off of Doctrine of Passing Hex Arc Caster. It's still like the good archetype and all, but you need like a perfect roll for it to actually be good, because the base stats are absolutely horrible with that much very low stability. It's just horrendous. Anyway, auto rifles are still usable in the ways of the Doctrine of Passing archetype and the sometimes even the Monte Carlo archetype, but they still need a little bit of a facelift for the Suros Regime and sometimes even the Monte Carlo archetype. But anyway, smack that like button, hit the sub, drop the comment. Now see you guys later for another video on my channel. I'm out of here.